Right, welcome. I think I'm live. I just got a text. All right, I wanted to do a quick update on NFPA 110. So we got done with our first draft meetings, and I'll tell you what, it was it was interesting. NFPA 110 is almost we've got almost got through all of the public inputs, but I'll just give you a little overview of some of the decisions. So energy management systems came up. I believe we resolved all of those public inputs. Now the challenge with what they wanted to do. First draft, I just got to come up with my resolution log. There it is. All right. So there were various public inputs for energy management system. There were various public inputs to recognize a microgrid as well. Now, I'll tell you what the challenges are with both of those. Let's talk microgrid first. The submitter wanted to put, now all of this could change. In 5.1.1, this is what we did today, it was an interesting discussion. 5.1.1 says the following energy sources shall be permitted to be used for emergency power supply. And they talk about liquid petroleum products. They talk about liquefied petroleum gas, natural or synthetic gas, hydrogen gas, and what was being proposed was to add microgrids. So the way the discussion went was that the term microgrid, a microgrid is not an energy source. A microgrid is taking energy sources, creating a grid, and then supplying the power. So to locate microgrid in a section that deals with identifying energy sources. Now, these energy sources could be a part of a microgrid, okay? So, and what was pointed out during our discussion, Article 700 recognizes microgrids. In 700 dot something G, I can't remember the exact section number. On-site sources designated as emergency sources shall be permitted to be connected to a microgrid system. So you can incorporate microgrids, but the discussion that we were having on the panel today, which I thought was interesting, was what is the true function of NFPA 110? Is it, for example, I can have in Article 700 in the National Electrical Code, in NFPA 99, they'll recognize ways to put systems together. And they'll come up with the rules and regulations of what you can and can't do with regard to putting those systems together, which might be a microgrid. We could talk energy storage systems. We can talk energy management systems and all of that jazz in those documents. Is it appropriate to talk about those configurations in NFPA 110? And what the panel went was, no, it's not. Now, I thought it was a great discussion that we had in regard to that, but it was something that I think you should think about and take a look at those public inputs, because if you think they had merit, if you say, well, no, Tom, you're not thinking about it correctly, this is our opinion on it or my opinion on it, I would love to hear your opinions on that, because I think it's another important piece of the puzzle, is getting the public engaged. So that was microgrid. There was a discussion about that, and I think there was a definition of microgrid that was proposed that wasn't accepted, at least at this point. Remember, I'm not speaking on behalf of the panel. I'm not speaking on behalf of NFPA. I'm not speaking on behalf of IAEI or anybody else. This is, Tommy D, just telling you what occurred, what I witnessed today, which was kind of cool. It was a great. There was some good discussions so far this morning or this afternoon, all day. So I'm just giving you my perspective. Just want to set that record straight. So what's interesting is, we got through microgrids today, and by not putting the definition in, by not putting it in 5.1.1, by no means does it mean you can't use a microgrid in an Article 700 system or whatnot. You would go to Article 700 of the National 700.12h. Thank you, Steve Froming. You mean our panel 13 member. So what we didn't feel, that it was not considered an energy source. I mean, look at the options: liquid petroleum, liquefied petroleum gas, natural or synthetic gas, hydrogen gas. Microgrids just doesn't fit. Anyway, so we didn't put that in. We didn't also create a definition, and the definition that was proposed wasn't quite what was in the National Electrical Code. So if a definition does go into 110, there was one definition that we weren't going to put in. We ended up putting it in: optional standby systems. I think that's the one. We were debating on the title of and the title of the standard itself, because it says, this was another interesting discussion. The title of NFPA 110 is Standard for Emergency and Standby Power Systems. Yet, in the scope, I gotta find the scope. In the scope of 110, in Chapter 1, there's 1.1.1 that says, 1.1.3, this standard covers installation, maintenance, operation, and testing requirements as they pertain to the performance of the emergency power supply system. So the debate and discussion was, the title is misleading when the scope is only emergency power supply systems, and we had public inputs, and that sort of suggested that we should remove the whole discussion of, in the title, we should remove, where is it? NFPA 110, there we go. Standby power systems, and make the title Standard for Emergency Power Systems. So it was an interesting discussion. It didn't end up holding water. Honestly, I went back and forth in my mind on that one, because the scope specifically says emergency power supply systems, but somebody pointed out a good point, that in some cases you might have a standby power system that functions for, say, a 702 system, but it also supplies emergency loads when you shed those others. So there were some really good arguments made on both those. We ended up resolving any of those changes, at least unless somebody else brings it up at tomorrow, which I highly doubt. But it's still fluid. But that's sort of was our discussions today. Should the title of NFPA 110 be Standard for Emergency Power Systems and not Standard for Emergency and Standby Power Systems? So great discussion there. Those were sort of resolved. But then again, there was the discussion about optional standby systems. So we added, at least again so far, in the first draft, we've added the optional standby systems in 1.1.3. And it says the standard does not cover the following: And one of those is optional standby systems. And then we pulled the definition from NFPA 70 of an optional standby system to clarify what is not covered by the standard. I think that, the clarity of what is and isn't covered is an important thing. When you think about these requirements, it plays an important role. It really does. So in any case, you've got clarity is very important for safety. So that, if I think about the stuff that we really debated around, I would say the title change, very interesting. Maybe a few changes in the scope, which we did make some of those around optional, what's not covered, to make that clear. The term energy management system, there was a proposal to add a definition for an energy management system that was extracted text from NFPA 70, Article 100. We ended up not putting that in there primarily because we haven't accepted the concept of an energy management system in this document. And again, it doesn't mean you can't use an energy management system, because other documents like NFPA 70, NFPA 99 may have those requirements and permissions and allocations, but that doesn't have an impact on NFPA 110, which is your emergency, talking about your supply, your emergency power system. So again, you can see the overlap in between NFPA 70, NFPA 99, and what this document is doing. And I think we're looking at a little bit of a struggle of even some of the committee members working through the public inputs to say, what is that relationship? What is it supposed to be? And how do all of these interact with each other? So that was a great discussion today. I really enjoyed that. Excuse me. And we ended at 4. We ended at 4 on the nose, but we aren't done yet. So microgrids, not quite making it there. A lot of discussion around that and debate. Probably the submitter is going to come back next cycle or next the public comment phase. That's the other thing. Things aren't dead yet, and sometimes you're better off having your idea be resolved in the first draft than getting it in. I don't know, from a success rate. I mean, just anyway, it's just Tom talking. We made some changes in 5.2.3, which were kind of cool discussion. Fuel tank capacity, we made changes there. We broke out 2 sections, fuel tank capacity for classifications 24 hours or less. The main fuel tank has to have a minimum capacity of at least 133% of either the low fuel sensor quantity specified in 5.2.2. And we gotta look at the language there. 133% of either. Yeah, I would expect to see 2. So I think that's. I'm gonna have to take a look at. Let's take a look at. The other thing is TerraView. There's some good things. There's some things I hate about Terra, and there's some things I love about Terra. What I love about it is, as our NFPA liaisons enter data, they enter what we did into the system. And he hasn't added that in yet. So it'll be interesting to see what language we put in there, because we can always reopen things tomorrow as long as we get a second to fix some wording. So the important thing is to really stay engaged and watch what's going on. We tabled some items. There's the EMS. EMS did not go in. At least it's not there yet. And that just means, hey, come back with some better arguments, right? Whoops. X. What else we got? It was a long day. It really was. That was resolved. Indicate engine coolant temperature lube oil. Actually, I think we accepted that one. 712 has been deleted. All right, so, and we still have some public inputs to go through. We had a lot of debate today. We had a lot of challenges with process. So anyway, first contact with NFPA 110. Excellent. Yes, I'll tell you what, it's something to look at. I mean, if you're dealing with your standard, your emergency power systems and things like that, you'll want to look at 110 and 111. Really interesting discussions and requirements in there. It's not a very thick document. It's not like the National Electrical Code or 70E. But those who do power systems for healthcare, for Article 700, 701, 708, all of those areas, they are heavily involved with NFPA 110 and what is allowed to be a source for your emergency power systems, your emergency standby power systems. So it's a good one to wrap your arms around. So anyway, so that was our meeting today. We got through, I don't know how many, I wasn't counting the public inputs, but I know we have, I'll tell you how many we got left. We have, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We have 17 to get through. And the reason I'm laughing is because here's how many we got through today. We got through 1, 2, 3. Oh, we didn't even do those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We tabled 1. We tabled 2. 14. 14, 15. We got through 16, I think 17. We got through 17. So, and we haven't even, those have, that none of that includes 111. So we have a lot more work to do. We've only got tomorrow scheduled. So we might be working late tomorrow. So anyway, I hope you, I just want to at least give you an update on what was going on 110. Again, you can go up, take a look. In fact, you can view 110 for free online. That can definitely happen. So you can go up and take a look, and you can look at the first draft. If you go to next edition, you can view all of the public inputs and take a look at what's going on in regard to NFPA 110. So that's all I wanted to do. So it's about 4:59. It's 5 o'clock my time. I'm going to shut down for the day. Actually, I still got work to do. So I got my normal job to do, which I'll have to do that in the evening. But I just want to at least give everybody an update where we were at on 110 and 111. We haven't gotten through 110 day one. We still got to get through 111 and finish 110, which is about the same workload that we had for all day today. So I'll give you an update tomorrow. All right. And let you know how it goes. And if I don't go live until late, you'll know how long it was, but you gotta love it. All right. Thanks, everybody. Just wanted to give you an update. Thomas Dimitrovich is signing off. Take care, stay safe. God bless, and please. Hey, we got Felix Handeval. Hey, my black background looks scary. I know. And this is my Bobby Joe told me I end 2 or 3 times before I actually end. But I just called up the chat box. So yeah, my black background. What do you think of the black background? You like that? I don't know. I don't have my buttons on this computer, so I can't change the backgrounds. Good seeing you on Mike Holt's thing, Felix. We were both chatting it up over there. I didn't get to, I popped in here and there, left and right. So I just, it would have been great to be down there. I have a lot of fun when I'm down there and usually learn something as well. All right, everybody. This is it. Final goodbye. Take care, stay safe, and please stay healthy. God bless. We'll see you.